So, good evening, all of you, and welcome to the seventh session of Gita Samvad. And we have started this series of discussion on Bhagavad Gita to understand the broader outline, broader structure in which Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. So, we have come very far in our journey. We just left with last two sessions. And the last session would be more of a summary and closing and announcement for the next level. So today is very important topic, and the topic is very much relatable in each and everyone's of our life. And the topic for our today's discussion is three modes of material nature, or we also term that as three gunas, three facets, or three ways of living our life. And so without let's directly jump into the topic, today's topic. And let me start the slideshows from here. Yeah. So till now we have been discussing about, last time we discussed about karma, and many time a question has been asked that what encourages us to perform that kind of karma. Let's say, yes, it was my karma that I would go and hit somebody, or it was my karma to be hit by someone. So what inspired me or that person for to hit each other? What inspired other person to come and gives us what we wanted and what was due to our karma? And what inspired a person who took away my money? So the inspiration to perform the karma comes from these three modes. So these three modes can be compared to the different types of energies we get influenced by. So you can just imagine a television, a screen in front of you. The screen in front of you, the picture, what the screen can offer to you to visualize it and to see can be in three different modes. The first mode can be very blurry, wherein you hardly can see anything. It's like those without any clarity, completely blurry. You can't really make out what is there in the screen. The second level is that you can see there are two people. It is a landscape, the river flowing, but the detailing of the picture is not clear. It's very hazy. You can make out something, but it's not really very clear. And the third version is which has the HD quality. Like you can see the minutest of detail of that picture, each and every aspect of that picture. So like a television can show you picture in three different ways with three different levels of clarity. Similarly, the life can offer three different modes by which I can become aware or I may become unaware of the reality around me, of the detailing of my life. What's happening around me, what's happening inside me, and what is my inspiration, what is my motivation, what I want to achieve in my life, and things like that. So these three modes are like three different energies in which the nature operates, in which the nature gives us different types of inspiration based upon our desire. That also we'll discuss what is that desire. So we dedicate this to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, from whose teaching we learn all these principles. So now let's imagine in a college or in anywhere for that matter, you would find a category of people who would be very lazy, who would always wants to party, who will always intoxicate, who will always right to do wrong things, and they will not have any motivation for living. They'll be escapist. They will not want to do anything. They just wants to just life doesn't exist for them. There's no inspiration for them to live. Broadly, we see one category clearly, especially in colleges. You can make out that the last benchers who doesn't studies, who always bunk classes, who always go and party out, do intoxication. That is one category. The another category may be who are very motivating, who are very sporty, who are very athletic in nature. They're middle benchers, but they like to participate in many, many activities. They're very highly ambitious people. That is one category. Another category is who are very interested in learning, interested in growing. Their their aptitude in life towards life is very sober. They like to be calm. They like to do things systematically. They like to do things regularly. Right? We have these three broader categories. You can see in your corporate, you would have some employees who would just not come to office, and they would just have a lot of issues, and they will not do things at the right time. There'll be people who will be very ambitious, very motivating. There'll be some people who will be like very systematic, and they would do the right thing at the right time. So that is what we just discussed, that in a class you can have three different categories of students. In the last bench, they bunk the class, create nuisance, go to movies. Middle benchers, they have okay attendance, they will like to participate in extracurricular activities. Front benchers, they are very curious, they're very inquisitive, they're after studies, they're very studious. So basically what's happening here is there are three different modes which are operating here. So what is this mode? What do you think this mode is? Wherein a person just doesn't want to work, remain indolent, wants to intoxicate, wants to do anything which is not ethical. That is known as ignorance. That is known as tamoguna. That is known as tamasic energy. Also known as dark energy. The dark energy, the black magic, the black energies. That is known as ignorance. There is no clarity about life. Like the last mode in which there is everything is hazy, the life, there is no clarity in the life. We are not really clear what we should do in our life, what we should not do in our life. Awareness is very dull. We just is, speak harshly, become angry, just sleep late, get up late. There's no system. So a person becomes very ignorant, very dark, and a person there's no motivation in life. That is one category. Another category is who like to work hard, very ambitious, very motivating. That is known as motivating energies. That is known as Rajoguna, mode of passion. There is a lot of motivation, a lot of drive. They want to achieve a lot of materialistic things like good bungalow, good wife, vehicle, bank balance, great economic advancement, and things like that. They're very fired up people, very ambitious people, very motivating people. But the point here is there is no direction. There's no right direction to that. They like to act, but there is no proper clarity why they're acting, how they're acting, and to optimize their efforts. That guidance, so that can be compared to motivating energy. And the last is mode of goodness, that is known as light or enlightening energy. Enlightening energy means they have the right direction, they are properly guided, they know what is to be done, they know what is not to be done. They conduct their life in a way which is inspiring for them and inspiring for others. They want to gain knowledge, they want to advance, they want to grow. They are very interested in doing research work. They're very interested in doing the work which is very enabling in a way, which enables a person going higher and higher in their life. That is enlightening energy. So we know So this can be compared to, so Krishna explains about this. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Devi hi esha gunamai mama maya duratya mam evaye prapadante maya metam tarantite. So this is a verse which comes in Bhagavad Gita, wherein Krishna is saying here that this nature, this divine nature, this material nature, the nature in which we are living in, are made up of is made up of three nature, three gunas, three energies. So constantly we are inspired, we are influenced, we are kind of induced by these three kind of energies constantly. You can gauge at any point of time that what energy you are influenced by, and based upon your energy you are influenced by, you will be engaged in that kind of activities. And if you engage in that kind of activities, you're making a future karma. So ultimately, it's the management of your gunas which are important. If you can manage which energy you want to be influenced by, you would be performing similar kind of activities. So we really can't force ourselves to perform one kind of activity when we are not inspired by that kind of energy. So before we do the management of work, management of the action, we should also work upon the management of energies. And we'll know that how this energy is all made up of. So these energies are not like, oh, somebody is influenced by completely by enlightening energy, or completely by dark energy, or completely by motivating energy. In different areas of our life, we may be influenced by different types of energies. Like, what are the different areas of life? If we say the wheel of life, what are the different areas which we can define in that wheel of life? Personal, professional, financial, interpersonal, social, health, many areas, right? So in which area I may be influenced by different types of energies. And these energies is not like is like completely motivating, or is like completely enlightening, or it is completely dark. It's a mixture, like the whole, we have infinite number of colors, but these infinite number of colors are made up of three basic colors: red, blue, and green. So different mixtures, different proportion you can have of different colors, and they can give you newer and newer color every time, isn't it? So our personality, you can say, okay, 10% is enlightening energy, 50% is motivating energy, and 40% is dark energy. Dark energy in which area of life? Motivating energy in which area of life? Or the goodness energy in which area of your life? So the life becomes very variegatedness, very colorful in that way. Every person is unique. Every person is unique. And why the uniqueness of a person? Why my taste is different from your taste? Why my, yeah, welcome to this. Why my taste is different from your taste? Why my liking is different from your liking? Why I like to hear one kind of music, then you like to hear different kind of music? So the taste in each and every area of your life can define which kind of energy you're influenced by. And it is said that if you see the first verse of Bhagavad Gita, the first verse of Bhagavad Gita explains just that every place has its own kind of energies. So interestingly, yes, that's how the nature operates. The nature operates in three ways. But what is the mechanism, or what is the via media in which way we get influenced by three modes? It is in the nature, but what is a conduit? What is a conduit? What carries that energy which we get influenced by, right? If let's say there's a two wires. In one wire, you can have different amount of different voltage of electricity flowing through each and the different wires. So now the question comes, what are the different conduits in which these three energy flows in the material nature? Interesting, isn't it? How we are getting influenced? In which way? It is said that every way we take input in our system carries energy. For an example, what do we eat? We eat food, right? In the food, along with the nutritions, along with the proteins, along with the vitamins, along with the carbohydrates, also there is an energy in that. So food carries energy. Depends what kind of food we eat, we're going to influence by that kind of energy. What kind of places we live in? You can just imagine, you go to graveyard, you go to a place, crematorium. How would you feel? Immediately the heart will sink. Heart will start sinking. You'll feel heavy hearted. You'll feel that very depressive energy. That is, the place is influenced by dark energy. And because the place is influenced by dark energy, it is influencing us in a dark way, in a demotivating way. If you go to temple, if you go to church, you feel some sort of lightness. You go to nature, you go to forest. The nature, the forest, the woods, the water carries enlightening energy. We feel very calm, we feel very quietened, we feel very content, we feel very satisfied, we feel very grounded. Why? Because we are influenced by enlightening energy for some time. Now you go to, like, you go to movie theater, you go to cinema, you go to mall, you get very inspired, very charged up to purchase, to do this, to do that. Why? Because it's influenced by motivating energies. So the place we live in, the place we are with, or we visit, it influences us. The food we eat, it influences us. The people we meet, you can feel, if you meet certain type of people, you really get very motivated. Like motivational speakers, they motivate you to, they pump you up to take some action. They may motivate you to take some action, but maintenance of that action depends upon you. And maintenance is a mode of goodness. Unless you're influenced by mode of goodness, you can't really hooked on to that activity for a long period of time. The people can be very demotivating, very depressing. The moment you meet, you see those people, you feel so depressed, you feel so demotivating. You feel that this is not a kind of person I want to be with. Very negative energy around them. And there may be people whom you feel very inspired by, you feel very enlightened, you feel very content, you feel that yes, you are getting clarity. Getting clarity is a function of enlightening energy. In the mode of goodness, only we can get clarity and awareness. So food we eat, place we live in, people we meet with, it is said that we are the average of 5 people we live with most closely. My personality trait is the average of 5 people I closely associate with. So our personality is made up of the average of the people I'm interacting on a day-to-day basis. They're bringing energy in my life. What kind of words you use, how you use your words, also motivate or demotivates you. You can use your words against you. Oh, I'm a bad person. I'm unlovable. I am guilty. I am imperfect. I have this problem. I have that problem. You're using words, right? You're using words. And you're using words and taking that energy of that words in your own system. What's happening? You become demotivated. You feel depressed. You feel frustrated. On the other hand, you connect yourself to the quality of the soul. I'm lovable, I'm strong, I'm confident, I have that energy, which is the spiritual energies. You feel very inspired, you feel very content. I'm happy, I'm grateful. The words can be used against you or for you, or somebody else's uses their words for us. If you see the speech, the words we use, the kind of images we see, the forms, some forms, let's say ghostly forms, like say very distorted forms, the forms of, let's say, a slum area. How does it make you feel when you imagine of slum? Very demotivating, very dirty, because the form itself. If you see the form of beautiful trees, flowing rivers, and see the form of god and goddesses, it inspires you in a different way. So these energies are all pervasive, and different types of activities we do in our life influences us in a different way. So there's a constant fight is happening between these three energies, which will remain predominant in your life. And these activity, these energies can be fueled by your actions. If let's say 75% you are influenced by motivating energy, so now you can either do action in the mode of goodness, the sattvic actions, which will help you regaining your sattvic quotient. And once your sattvic quotient increase, the mode of passion will transport to mode of goodness. But if you continue doing activity which are in mode of passion, your passion will keep increasing, 75 to 80, 80 to 85, things like this. So our action are very important. So now it's two-way process. So we get influenced by one type of energies which inspires our action to in a certain way. At the same time, the kind of action we perform, it feeds into the loop. So how that's how we understand these the dynamic of these three energies. And there's a VPI known as Vedic Personality Test. If anybody would like to take that test, you can just ping me separately. It is a test by which you can make out in which guna you are influenced by. The test is being made from the Bhagavad Gita, 3 chapters, wherein Krishna speaks different activities, different symptoms, which can show you which energy you are influenced by, which kind of energy you are influenced by, known as Vedic Personality Index. So that's how we understand, and that is what I just wanted to share with you, all of you, regarding the modes of nature. So let me see. Yeah, the food, as we discussed, tamasic food, rajasic food, and sattvic food. The food influenced by rajoguna, sattva, and tamoguna. Like tamasic food may be alcohol, meat. Rajoguna means very spicy, hot, pungent. Sattvic, moderate, fruits, milk, grains, etc. The Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita all of these different dimensions: sacrifice, austerities, charity, renunciation, knowledge, determination, result of action, happiness. Like for an example, Krishna says, if any happiness, any happiness which is poison in the beginning but nectar in the end, the energy, the happiness which is poison in the beginning, it is not giving you happiness but nectar in the end, that is sattvic. Any happiness which is nectar in the beginning but poison in the end, that is rajasic, that is motivating, that mode of passion. Any happiness which is neither happiness in the beginning, neither happiness in the end, painful in the beginning, painful in the end, that is tamasic. Like studying every day systematically is very painful in the beginning, but it is going to give a great result. Painful in the beginning but nectar in the end. Similarly, like children needs to play, likes to play, they just keep playing. So beginning is a nectar, but it's end up not serving them properly if they don't educate themselves. And the third is, let's say, fighting. Fighting is neither pleasure in the beginning, and you will end up in jail, is end up in misery. So like this, the whole dynamics it plays out, and there are a lot of other dimensions to it. We may just keep discussing on that. There are 3 chapters Krishna speaks. That's how important these concepts is. So now let us move to the questions and answers. I think Arjun had some question. Yes, Arjun. We have been waiting for long now.
I have a few questions, but is it bad to have dark energy?
Is
And
it bad to have dark energy? Interesting question.
only a bit, like 5%.
5%. So 95% good, 5% bad. What do you think after hearing all of this? What is your perception? Is it good to have dark energy? Is it bad to have dark energy?
If you don't take advantage of it, then okay, but if you do, then no, it's not good.
You take advantage. What do you mean by taking advantage?
You don't go to school every day, like
Mhm.
skip school every day.
Yes. That is not good, right? So yeah, dark energy is not good. Dark energy seems to be good, looks good, but it is not good. So dark energy is not good. Like the darkness. If you want to walk and there's a lot of darkness in your area and little it has become dark now. Is the darkness good for your moving in the right direction?
It's not good.
Is 5% misguided is okay when you move from your house to your school? Okay, maybe I will use GPS only not for 5 minutes. Let's say it is a 60 minutes drive from your house to from your, let's say, school, and only for 5 minutes I will not use GPS. What will happen in those 5 minutes?
You could go to a different route and it'll take longer.
It would take, if you get diverted for 5 minutes, it would take 15 minutes for you to come back.
Hmm.
So now what is your answer? Is the 5% good or bad?
No, it's not good.
Like, it's not good.
And also, I have two more questions. One of them is a follow-up question, but is if you use good energy too much, like you said, it's nectar in the beginning and then it's poisonous in the end. If you use too much goodness and then you keep on thinking like if you keep on telling everybody that you're good, and then you'll get poisoned, right?
I didn't understand because the you're saying that too much goodness is bad.
No, if you get too much goodness and then you think you're good enough, and then you kept on dropping and dropping, then it'll become dark energy and it's bad for you, right?
Yes, yes. So if you take undue advantage, okay, now I am good, I am settled, I don't have to do. So that is not definition of goodness energy. It means constantly striving for goodness, constantly striving for that, for the excellence, and not stopping in mediocrity.
Okay.
Being aware also that if I'm thinking I'm good enough, means there's an element of darkness in that. If I
So,
say I'm good enough, then there's an element of darkness.
so if so, then good energy can be transferred into dark energy sometimes.
Uh, Good energy cannot be transferred to dark energy, but you may assume that you have achieved goodness, but you're
Okay.
hiding behind darkness.
Mm,
You may have a facade, oh, I am good now. I'm a good, gentle soul. But behind you, it will be something else going on in the mind.
all right.
So as a show of being a good person, right? There are some people who looks good, but they are not good. But some people who are good. So the people who shows that they are good, but their intentions are not right, means they are not good. They're just having the coating of goodness, not the substance of goodness.
Okay. So they change who they are by where they are, what they eat, what they do.
Yes,
The
yes.
three main concepts.
And also, if their action is in alignment with their intentions. If their intentions are bad, but you see them doing action which are resonating with mode of goodness, their intention is bad means they will ultimately use that goodness for their own wrong purposes, which is dark in itself. It's like a dark energy covered by light. Like for an example, there's a copper and there's a gold. Sometimes a copper, let's say glass, can be covered by or plated by gold plated copper glass. It may look it is gold, but the moment you scratch it, you will see it is copper. Some people can look good, but when you scratch, when you squeeze them, then the reality comes out, right? They may show they are very good, they are very gentle, they are very kind. But when you agitate them, when you put them into difficulty, that time real goodness will come out. Like some people, oh, I am your friend. But friend, really, if you want to know who is your friend, you should call them in your bad times. That time reality will come out, whether they are your true friends or just show off friends. Does it make clear for you, Arjun?
Yes.
You have another question?
No. Thank you.
Yeah. So I have two more questions on the chat. Connections between two is depends on food we eat, people we be with, in words we speak. So gunas and modes, they are both same, interchangeably used for themselves. Like gunas in the Sanskrit becomes modes in the English. They both are same. And the both modes or gunas keep changing, depends on the food, people, words, different plethora of activities. Anybody else have any other doubts? Any other points? Anybody would like to share? Any comment? Any addition? Anybody would like to share what they learned? Maybe one single point. Maybe all of you can share one single point. The pearls from the discussion. What did you learn? How would you like to implement? And now coming back to the implementation, the chanting. So how chanting helps? So by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, what's happening is we are doing activity of the super mode of goodness. And when we do action of the higher goodness, the highest of goodness, which is chanting names of God, then what happens? You get pulled, immediately get pulled to mode of goodness. Working on your focus on, yes, working on focus. So by chanting Krishna's name, by reading Bhagavad Gita, last time we discussed they are all akarmic activities. Why they are akarmic activity means immediately it can nullify the effect of gunas from your consciousness, from your mind. Immediately it can pull you out from lower modes to the higher modes. So that's why chanting is important. So I hope all of you have started chanting at least one round. If not, I would encourage all of you to chant at least one round. And we also have a group for mantra group clubs, wherein we do regular chanting twice a day. And I would encourage also to be the part of that group and start chanting. And also, if you are able to chant at your own pace, I would encourage you to do so. So we'll conclude here for the session, and we'll meet again next time with the last session. In the last session, we'll describe what is journey going forward. Thank you very much. Namaste. Hare Krishna.
Namaskar.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.